is Courage Barbell, and I'm your host, Chad Ikes. Today, I want to discuss the N word. Sorry, not that N word. The new N word. Normal. To my amazement, it seems as though this word is now a bad word as well as many other words and offensive things that we're doing all over our society these days. In talking to people over social media and in person, discussing some of these things I think about a lot, people seem to get pretty upset about the N word. Let's see. What do I hear a lot? Normal. What is normal? There is no normal. Yeah, actually, there is a normal. It's actually a word. Actually has a definition. It actually is based on math most of the time. So, I want to start with the definition of a word. I think a good place to start is with some facts. Let's get some facts about the word, and then let's build from there. So, I have the Merriam website here, and the definition of normal, which I'm only going to read about 3 of them. There's actually, I think 8 or something like that. So definition 1A. Conforming to a type, standard, or regular pattern, characterized by that which is considered usual, typical, or routine. 1B. According with, constituting, and not deviating from a norm, rule, procedure, or principle. Number 2, occurring naturally. Number 3A, approximating the statistical average or norm. 3B, generally free from physical or mental impairment or dysfunction, exhibiting or marked by health or sound functioning. 3C, not exhibiting defect or irregularities. 3D, within a range considered safe, healthy, and optimal. And it goes on with a few more from there, but they're all pretty much, I think you can understand the point right there. Excuse me. So, basically, I use the word normal in 2 different terms, or 2 different situations, I should say. The first being is based on the individual, and that is usually related to psychology or medical, just trying to see how they're doing or feeling. So, for instance, in my strength training, I'll ask my clients questions of, are you feeling normal? Is your appetite normal? Is your sleep normal? How are all these things going? And what I'm doing is I'm looking to see if there's any variance from normal, and is that a sign that we need to pay attention to, that something else is going on in their recovery or their training that we need to look at. This is the same thing if you go see a doctor or you go see a psychologist. They may ask you, has anything happened outside your normal? Is your stomach all of a sudden hurting when it normally doesn't? Are you all of a sudden feeling very depressed when you normally don't? Things like that. So it's a pretty simple, useful term to me. Now, the other form I use it in is in terms of society. And this is more of a mathematical use of it. We're basically looking for the averages. And in most situations, if you're trying to calculate a normal, it's going to come up with something like a bell curve. So once you get the norm, as you spread out, it's going to be less and less and less people. And I know that math is something some people are bucking against at this point too, but I can tell you scientifically, like, math is math. There is no interpretations, there is no feelings. Math is facts. So the word normal is not a bad word. It's not a bad thing. It's perfectly fine. Normal has been in human society forever, and it always will be. Societies throughout the years have always been based somewhat on the norm of that society. And it varies a lot too. What's norm now may not be norm later. But in a society as a whole, the society as a whole can't and shouldn't cater to all the outliers. You know, why would we have one guy that hates this, so let's change all of society for that one person? No, society works in going, hey, let's set everything up based on the norms because that's most of the people. What do most of the people want? Like our country, our constitution, it's all based on the norms. What do the vast majority of the people want and need? Now, ideally and hopefully, if a society is set up well, then there's still room for all of these outliers to get what they need to live and survive and everything like that. And now keep in mind, I consider myself pretty far from the norm. A lot of the things that I do in my life are not very normal, and that's okay. I don't expect the world to cater to me. I'm pretty much of an antisocial person. I don't mind spending time alone. I don't mind doing things by myself. I'm not very comfortable at parties with a bunch of people I don't know. I'm not very comfortable being around a bunch of people anyway. But that doesn't mean that society should go, well, Chad doesn't like being around big people, so we're not going to let groups of more than 5 to 10 people congregate. That would be dumb. Most people like that. People like going to concerts and parties and dances. Society can't cater to fit all of my needs. And that's okay. Life is not perfect. Everything doesn't go our way all the time. Everyone has some stuff that goes against them and some stuff for them. That's just the way it is. We all get dealt a hand and we play it the best we can. To think that a society should cater to the individual needs of the person is crazy. A country, America, caters to Americans, and it has to look at what is the norm. What can we do that's going to fit most of the people? Now, as I said, this changes over time. And I think a good example of this is tattoos. I never tattooed my forearms, and I never tattooed my face. Not because I didn't want to, but because I knew that it would change my career opportunities. I knew that it would make me more of an outcast, and that would limit the jobs that I have. And a company, a job where you represent that company, say you're doing sales, retail sales or outside sales, or you are the person in the front of that company. That company wants you to fit the norm because they're in business and they're trying to make money, and they need someone that fits the norm, that fits most of the customers and clientele that they have. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's that company. That's the image they want to portray. They're trying to have a successful business. So it was my opportunity or choice to do those tattoos, and I decided not to. And trust me, if I had enough money that I knew I never had to worry about having a job, I would probably have my face tattooed. But that's not an option, so I don't do it. That's life. We don't get everything we want. Now, you could go as far as to say sometimes in life, what makes us an outcast is a choice. And sometimes it's not. Say a person with Down syndrome. They have a certain appearance, they have a certain look. They, depending on the severity of their syndrome, may affect how much they can take care of themselves or how much help they need. But we can't cater all of society based on those needs. But luckily, our society is great enough that we can help those people out to have great, productive lives. So life's not fair. Sometimes things go against us, but you have to understand that the whole society as a whole has to be for the people in general as a whole. And if we meet all those needs, then hopefully there's the needs for the outliers So, because that's part of society too. Society is not just the norm. I mean, in order to have the norm, you have to have some outside. I mean, it's all part of a whole system, like a whole universe that has all these different things, and they need all these different things to be one. So outliers play a part in society, even though they may not be in the norm of society. So I think we need to, as people, as civilians or citizens is a better word, we need to understand that it's not about us as the individual. That we're looking at society as a whole, and we're making these rules and we're judgments based on the whole of society. And not everyone fits into it. But if we pay attention and we try to work with everybody and we try to fit everybody in, then things can move and progress and change. Back to the tattoo thing. Tattoos now are becoming more popular and more accepted, and you're not, if you have tattoos, you're not looked at the way you were back in the 50s, where it was like you were either in the military or in some kind of motorcycle gang, like, or tattoos equals bad person that I should be wary of. Now, over time, lots of good people got tattoos because they wanted tattoos. And people went, hey, I met that guy, he had a lot of tattoos, and I thought he was like crazy or something, but he actually turned out to be a really cool guy. And then, so there becomes more understanding and more things fit into society, but this takes time. And it happens over a long period. So coming in there and going, hey, I'm different than everyone else, society should change for me, that's probably not the best way to approach the problem. Just being a good person and saying, hey, this is what I have, I just want to fit in. And in our society, there has been many problems in our society, and many bad things have happened. But if you look at where we're at now compared to where we were, like we were doing pretty good. The last couple of years, I questioned how things are going, but we were doing really good. Like anyone could own a home. Anyone could have a good job. Anyone could go to college. I mean, if you wanted to, you could find a way to make it happen. There was no judgment on who your sexual partner is. There was no judgment on the color of your skin. Like there's going to be racists. Yes, there's going to be that hate this. But they're a small group. According to our laws, based under the Constitution that we have now, we're all the same. And yes, there's other things to worry about, and there's still more to fix, and there's still more to improve on. But people are going crazy, getting offended about everything. Well, there is no normal. Yes, there is a normal. And that's okay. It's okay to be in that normal. It's okay to be outside of that normal. You just got to understand how it works. And that it needs to work that way. And if you stay strong and you keep performing and you're just a good person living your life, it's all going to come out. It's all going to work well. At least that's my opinion on this. I don't understand the negativity towards the word normal. I don't understand why people are mad if you call them normal or if you say that they're not normal. I'm out of the normal and I'm okay with it. It's the way I was born. There's a lot of it's nothing I can do about it. It's not my choice. It's how I feel. It's the way my brain works. It's the way I see things. It just is. It's okay. So please like this channel, subscribe to this channel, comment on this channel. The things I say are because that's what I think and it's what I feel, and I've put a lot of thought into it. But I know that I'm not always right. I know that there's perspectives and things that I miss. So if you have different perspectives or different thoughts, please share them with me. Please share them with the other people that are watching this video. To me, sometimes there's a lot of different opinions, and sometimes maybe all of them are right. Maybe the best answer is in the middle. So if we can all just discuss stuff without getting so upset, we can really come with some better conclusions and actually meet the potential that the human race has as a race and a society of people. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, like it, subscribe it, share it, comment on it, all that crazy cool stuff. And I will catch you guys next time. We'll talk about some more stuff. I want to share a story about how no matter what, you're going to offend somebody. It's going to happen. So just relax and be cool about it. Signing off, Chad Ikes. Courage Unlimited. Stay courageous.